But hey,
Yeah.
we're here.
We are.
Yes, welcome to Game Central
Yeah.
Junction, everyone. As always, I'm your host, The Metal, and joining me is my co-host, Marsupial Gamer, who's starting in the building this time. He actually got home at a reasonable time. And yeah, we're going to talk about games, things that are game adjacent, and we'll have a good time. So bring your friends in, share it around. Whether you're watching now in chat or in the future, leave a comment. But we've got news for new games that have come out. We've got personal reviews and opinions of some things that we've tried recently. And we've got news pertaining to the gaming industry. So with that said, how you doing today?
Doing now. Hey, I got home early. I guess I can't complain. Trying to set up here because I feel like I should be set up. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just peachy. Just peachy. I didn't go for a walk today, but honestly, when I'm streaming on the PlayStation with my headset on, I don't mind so much. Like, normally, if I'm going to sit down and I'm streaming for a long time, I have to go for a walk beforehand because I can't sit still for that long. But the fact that, like, I could play and pace around, I basically went for a walk while I was streaming, and it was perfectly fine.
That sounds fun.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well,
like, I'm up and down behind the couch,
some-
back in the kitchen, back to the living room.
Yeah. Man, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but my friend, my coworker at work is also my friend. He has been having a rough time with his former house.
Oh, yeah?
I thought he was done with it because he avoided an eviction. He went out of town for Burning Man, and he had sublet parts of his house because I guess he was renting the house.
Yeah.
As one does. But he had sublet some rooms to some friends, I guess for some extra cash, but he was not allowed to.
No,
for
okay. It was
his
against his
contract.
leasing agreement. Yeah.
Yeah. And when we went away to Burning Man, I guess he had just had a big argument with one or more than one of and they like trashed the house, and they trashed he had a pool in the back that was kind of trashed. And that was when I had to go over there while he was out of town and fish out this disgusting, well, I'm sure it wasn't disgusting when it went in, but it had been in that pool for a couple days, and like it was an iron grate that had rusted and basically become like, it looked like it had filled the pool with mud.
Yeah.
And when I pulled it out, it just felt like it was covered in mud, which was just rust.
Yeah, I remember that you had to go and pull something out of there.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it was at the bottom of the pool, so I had to strip. I didn't have a bathing suit or anything. I just stripped and jumped in because, like, well, shit. He was like, we're gonna get evicted if because they're gonna inspect the house and see that and see that the pool is basically just mud. It was just brown, and kick us the hell out. Anyway, long story short, too late. He avoided eviction by basically agreeing, because basically, well,
like,
he did leave the house. He agreed with the
Last I
manager,
heard,
not the owner, but the
you
manager.
said he was getting evicted regardless of that pool thing, like for other reasons. But they came to an agreement instead.
Well, that's what he thought, and he never, this was weeks ago, and he didn't bother to update me. I was like, well, I knew he was out of the house. What difference does it make? But as it turns out, technically he didn't have to leave, because the main issue, number one, there wasn't nearly enough damage to even, it was easily covered by his security deposit. It was a third of what he had put down. So I was like, okay, well, no big deal. And number two, I looked up in Arizona, and maybe it's everywhere, when you sublet to someone, especially on a first offense, if you kick them out and say, okay, you're not living here anymore, boom, problem solved.
Oh, okay.
And as far as Arizona law is concerned, you can't be evicted for that. As long as you solve the problem within like 10 days, it's done.
Yeah, I
you
don't
can
know
stay,
exactly how it is here,
if you have a
right? Like,
contract.
I'm more familiar with how things work
That's
in
what I'm saying.
Texas, living most of my life. You're informing me.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming, like, the parallels.
Yeah.
Most things aren't actually on their own an evictable offense, right? Because you have to, any eviction has to go through court anyway. And then a lot of times it'll be like the court will decide if the severity warrants an eviction or not.
Yeah. And far more often than not, if you can solve the problem within 10 days and maybe even within like 30 days, like if you don't, like, here's the thing. I think I was illegally evicted, frankly.
Oh, I think you were illegally evicted too, based on what you've told me.
Yeah, because, okay, I missed, the first of the month to pay the rent, and there's like a 5-day grace period. So as long as I'd paid it within 5 days, it's not late.
Yeah.
I had the money on the 6th day. Now it was late, but I had the money.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I had enough money to hire an attorney, or if I'd thought to look it up, I feel like that solves the problem. And since they could easily say, okay, well, we're not going to renew your lease. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I had months left on my lease, and they should have just taken the money and been like,
it was so weird too, because you can't be evicted
charge me late fee. That's fine.
without going to court, and you personally could miss the court date. That's fine, and the eviction still
I didn't know.
But you have to, like, the evictions have to go through the court.
Yeah, well, that's what they did. On day 6, they were in court on day 6. Like, they were on the ball, like, ridiculously.
Oh,
I'm like,
see, that's
really
also weird.
One day late.
After eviction, at least in Texas, right? I don't know how it works in Texas. In Texas, after you get evicted, you have a month to vacate the property. It's not like immediately.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, I don't remember how much longer. Like, you basically after the court agrees, then you have to wait for the sheriff to come and serve the eviction notice to you.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that took a week or two. Once he serves the eviction notice, then you have 30 days to get out. So, there's still lots of time. But
like, I think even more so, you were
I could be wrong,
charged with trespassing when you shouldn't have, because you should have still had all rights to be in that building.
Yeah. That's another story. I don't want to get too far into the weeds. But the bottom line was, I've since looked up the law, and it's like, if you have the money and can offer it to them, I don't know, maybe, I guess they could technically still evict you at that point. If you're 1 day past the grace period, but like...
Yeah, well, I think lying was involved anyway.
It's unheard of.
Because you're talking about, like, being in court on that day 6. It's like, I think they lied about giving you notice of the court date.
Oh, I never got notice.
Exactly, but, like, you actually have to give notice to the person who's going to be in court and everything.
I definitely never got that.
Yeah, like, I think there's all kinds of things where they actually lied, including lying in court, which is technically perjury. That's a what's it called? It's a felony.
Yeah, I mean, and I never, I didn't think about that. I didn't pursue that.
Yeah.
Years later, but so basically, and then I was supposed to be able to be there for 30 days. I was moving my shit out one day when I was allowed to be there, and suddenly the cops show up and they arrest me for trespassing. I'm like, dude, I'm allowed to be here. I'm moving out, but like, anyway, bottom line, years later, after I, then COVID hit and I, didn't have a job and all that stuff. Years later, I got a good job, 6 figures. I paid a lawyer and went to court, and I got the trespassing thrown out and permanently expunged. I got the eviction thrown out and permanently expunged. And I didn't want to go any further, but I probably could have sued them at that point, because everything was just thrown the fuck out. They didn't show up. You know, I set up a court date. They didn't even show up. And the judge was like, yeah, this is all bullshit. I'm throwing it all out. This is so. I don't know how I got into that. Oh, right.
You're talking about
So my friend,
your friend,
yeah. So I think they technically could not evict him. If they had tried, they would have lost in court because easily within 10 days he had the guy out. The house was immaculate. I don't know how he did it. In a weekend, it looked like nobody lived there. Like he had moved all the shit out and everything. So they came back, I think on day 8 of 10, and they're like, whoa, well, I mean, I guess we don't have to evict you. And he was like, well, we're moving out. So they agreed, even though the lease wasn't up. I mean, basically, they were saying, we're going to evict you. At first, he was like, I don't want to be evicted, but then decided, screw it. I hate this place. You know, I hate these people. I don't want to deal with them. And they agreed. I don't know if they wrote anything down. I feel like they did. Today, this is like a month later, maybe 2 months later, he got a bill from them for the next 6 or 7 months of rent because his lease wasn't up for like $30,000. Like, he was like, what the fuck? He's like, we agreed the lease was up. Like, you were going to evict me, at which point the lease was done.
Yeah.
Like, and I would not have owed you that much money, but we agreed to just part ways and be done with it. And frankly, he is owed because he paid that full month, but he left on, I guess you could say, day 10. So he's owed 2/3 of the rent for the rest of that month back, plus his security deposit, because there was not enough, not even a third of, you know, the damage wasn't nearly as much of his.
Yeah, he should at least be owed the change.
He's like, yeah. Even if he lost the whole security deposit, he definitely needed to get back the 2/3 of his rent.
Well, I almost would think the
Or
other way
maybe vice
around,
versa.
depending on vice versa, right?
Maybe.
You should return anything that wasn't used in the security deposit, but as long as, which many states don't let you fill a residency until like 2 weeks after the last person moved out anyway, so that you could do any repairs or whatever. All they have to say is like, well, you still have access to the place for the month that you paid for, right? You just don't get it back.
Yeah, but he didn't. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, if it had been a true eviction, that's true. It's just a fucking mess. It's like, why do they want to keep dealing with you? They clearly don't want to keep dealing with you. But also, you're right. Like, if you leave the lease, like, let's say you do have 6 months left and you're just like, see ya. They're required to try and fill the space. And I don't know how you enforce that or check on that. But if you just up and leave and you have a signed lease, they can charge you, but at the same time, they can charge you while you're not there, but at the same time, they have to, in good faith, try to fill the space. And as soon as they do, you're done. Your obligation's done. But she's like trying to charge him for like 7 months in advance. Of course, the more I think about it, I'm like, wait, why would she be charging you for 7 months in advance, except that you had an agreement that you were leaving now? Like, if you just up and left,
the big problem is your agreement.
She could charge you 1 month at a time.
Doesn't matter until somebody actually notifies the state of your agreement, because it's what you said versus what they said, right? And if you still have the contract and nobody ever notified the state that they agreed to end their contract, then the person with the contract could just show up and like, look, we still have a contract that needs to be fulfilled.
I think they signed something. I think he has something signed.
Otherwise, you just don't have any power.
Some sort of agreement in writing. Yeah. He seems pretty confident. Like, he's like, fuck this. I'm going to, I was just going to leave it alone. Even if I never got my deposit or anything back. I was just like, screw it. It's not worth it. He's like, no, I'm taking her to court now.
Okay.
It's like, this is fucking ridiculous.
I'm trying to eventually get off
that's
this
the
subject,
crazy
because we've
story.
just spent the last 15 minutes not talking about video games.
I'm sorry. We can go along.
Yeah. Just in case, any of the audience is like,
Anyway,
it's a fun
that was my
conversation, but I don't know if people who tuned into the show care at all, Maybe.
Hey, you asked how I'm doing. I was just
I
answering
did,
that
yeah.
question.
Well, yeah, but what you did, you
Because it wasn't
answered
really
more
how
about
I'm
how
doing.
somebody else was doing.
It's a funny story.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Funny to me. You had to be there, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rory rocks.
It's not what we're talking about today.
That's for Monday.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, we got some fun stuff. Like, we're going to
know.
talk about 28 years later on Monday and what we thought about that and a few different things. At least it's a deviation from talking about Nintendo nonsense. Well, guess what? We are going to be talking about some Nintendo nonsense
Thank you,
today.
Fischozo.
I don't know if that's what we're going to talk about right now.
Thank
if
you.
we want to, we can. But
No, let's save that.
okay. I don't even know
I
which
don't
one
even
you're
remember
wanting to
what it
save.
was, but we'll get. I don't know. Let's not talk about Nintendo right now.
Oh, well, I did want to, because this is going to be brief. Maybe we should talk about Nintendo. We did get news that NOA, Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser, will be retiring at the end of the year. He put out a big tweet about his time there and how it will be coming to a close on December 31st. So, like, literally, it'll end at the last day of the year, whether he's working or not. That's just when his contract is over. So they'll be filling the place with somebody else.
I heard that it's going to be replaced by a guy named James Wart.
I don't think so.
Who knows? maybe it was Jim. Was it Dick Wart? I don't know. That
Dick
doesn't
Wart,
make
yeah.
sense. That's a bad one. No, is it Fred Ward?
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody named Mouser.
But Bowser is leaving the castle.
That's right.
And hopefully he doesn't take
Your
the princess
CEO
with
is in
him.
another castle. Yeah. I'll tell you though, if they got a CEO named Wart, I think that would be a dream.
Absolutely. Yeah. One that I would like to wake up from very quickly. But I don't even have that
Mario
any.
never actually.
Mhm.
Sorry, I was just gonna say he never actually wakes up in that game.
No, because it's just at the very end you see him in bed and there's like a dream bubble, thought bubble thing.
Still
yeah.
asleep.
Yeah. But
Maybe he never wakes.
I don't have any bad opinions of Doug Bowser, because even as much as everybody goes about Nintendo these days, almost all of the real legit-ish stuff has been being driven by Nintendo Japan. Like, I feel like the NOA's just been doing what they can. Obviously, some of the court cases are happening here in the States, but, like, a lot of that's being driven by Nintendo Japan, so... I thought it was the NOA at first. When I first saw it, because I was trying to, like, not blame Nintendo Japan, but the more I dug into it, the more it looked like it was the actual home headquarters that was pushing things. And it's like, man, I'm sorry. I apologize, Nintendo of America.
Yeah. Specifically to Doug. I mean,
Yeah.
What does he do? What Doug? What would you say you do here? That would be my question.
Well, I do know
What
some of
does
the
he do other than
responsibilities
like
of the
community outreach and
president of Nintendo of America. So they're not as selective as they used to be, but the different branches get to pick which games they want to localize, more or less, with some restrictions. Obviously, sometimes the HQ just won't let them localize certain things for one reason or another, and sometimes they'll push something that definitely has to be localized. Like, you can't not localize a Mario game. Sorry, you're going to.
No.
But for all the other things, especially third-party stuff, because sometimes Nintendo does the localization of a third party, they'll do like a joint publishing thing where they'll take something that's only in Japan and out of the country will be published by Nintendo.
I bet you they helped Level 5 with Fantasy Life.
Oh, probably. So Reggie was pushing to get a port, or at the very least, he wanted a remake, but he was pushing for a port for Mother 3 to finally come to the States as hard as he could, but they just wouldn't let him.
Yeah.
They also direct business decisions for marketing, merchandise, and, like you said, outreach for their local area. So any merch specifically if they want. They have to decide where demos are going to be. You know, like it's up to NOA decide if they're going to put a demo in the middle of the outskirts of Reno, Nevada, and they decide that's where it's going to be. This is not a joke. They did that once. That's where the pop-up is going to be.
Okay.
You know, that's up to them too to figure that
I mean,
stuff
that's
out.
Yeah, but isn't that the head of marketing?
Well,
Makes those
the head of marketing is underneath him, though. So, like, as a president, you're the director. You're the one sailing the ship for the company. So you just got to make sure everything's in line for like everything that Nintendo of America has to do. It's a very hands-on job. Like Reggie talked about. We get more information of this from Reggie than anyone else because he's been the one that's been most open about it during and after his career there. He would go and he'd be having meetings and talking to people about their different departments and making sure the ship was in the same direction basically every day.
Are you cutting out for everyone or just me?
I'm probably cutting out for you. But I think I'm also, my computer's probably just lagging here and there. You know, like there's probably some stuttering or like my screen will probably freeze for a second or whatever. This is just what happens when you have an aging computer that doesn't have a lot of RAM compared to the modern needs of RAM.
Sorry, it got really bad for just like 10 seconds, but it's fine.
But yeah, we learned a lot from Reggie because he's talked about it a lot, and a lot of it is just making sure everybody's moving in the same direction at the same pace, right? They also he was heavily involved with the marketing department on like where like Doug Bowser specifically. This would be during his career, but it's where the new Nintendo World Store is in San Francisco. He would have had involvement in, and there's a lot of stuff that the NOA president does.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm fascinated. Now I'm fascinated by level 5.
Yeah,
I've done a lot of shit. Anyway, sorry, I got on a tangent, but just a mental one that time. It seems like I'm at a branch of my company, and they have basically 2 branches, but one of them is all sales and the other one's all development. I feel like the manager of our branch, although we don't currently have a manager, but when we did, unfortunately in this case, he had more responsibility than the president of Nintendo of America to me. I think. So it seems like he just has to kind of follow orders, right? I mean, I guess he makes like sub decisions, like we're gonna do this, figure out how. But
well, I mean, there's a lot of autonomy that the president of the company has, but at the end of the day, he's still answering to the exact same board of directors in Japan that the president of Nintendo Japan has to, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, the president of Nintendo of Japan can make big decisions. You can't just like go off into left field like the president of Cracker Barrel did. Yeah. But I just don't. I mean, I don't mean to disparage him. Reggie was fantastic. Whatever it is he did it right. I don't know if Doug Bowser. I guess he just kind of kept it on an even keel. I don't think anything's worse with Nintendo of America.
Well, especially because everything is so international now, right? There are people who do development in Nintendo of America for parts of games. Not like they don't usually make a whole game over here, but they're involved in the development outside of just localization, because Nintendo is just like spread apart now. You can say the same about most of their other branches too, and it's just they've become such an international company that they have people that have to do things everywhere.
And I feel like things were so great, like in the 80s and 90s, when it was like, we have this whole division over here.
Yeah.
They have a game that they're working on, but they're going to stay late and see what happens if they can do a Zelda game on the Game Boy and make it a little bit kind of like bits of Mario in there. And then they just come up with it, and they're like, "Wow, that's great. Let's make that a legacy. Let's make that one of the classic, legendary games of all time." All of a sudden,
Yeah. Hey, Mike.
I don't think you can do that anymore. At least not at Nintendo.
I don't think anyone at Nintendo has a lot of freedom. Like, you don't even really hear about the Nintendo of Japan, like, president anymore, right? Even though there is one. Like, after the Nintendo of Japan president, like, you don't really hear much about the current one. There's been, like, 2 or 3 since Iwata stepped down. And most people don't even know that there's been more than one since he stepped down.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, there was an interim president for, like, a year
who's
and
the
a
current
half. I don't even remember his name. Right.
Okay,
Yeah, but he was there for more than just like a
I
couple
didn't
months.
know.
He was there for a whole year and a half, and
Yeah.
and they didn't even call him an interim president. It was just like the person they put in that job until they found somebody else.
Yeah. You can have this job until we find someone better, and we will.
Or until you want to leave, Because I think the guy didn't want the job more than anything. It's like they just needed to fill the position. Like from what I heard, he was happy to leave once they found something else because he did not want to be in the president position. There's a lot of responsibility. But
Yeah.
it's like you don't hear much about that anymore. You don't. Same with like how nobody talks about Doug Bowser the way they talked about Reggie. Nobody talks about the current Nintendo president like they did Iwata. And part of it too is just like Nintendo's a company's not the same. The board has even more to say than they used to. They don't just let the president do their thing. They're doing a lot of really kind of questionable practices. What is it? My brother sent me something. I'm not going to read the whole article, but I want to go back to what he sent because this was the thing that he said. He was thinking of selling his Switch.
I guess we are talking about Nintendo.
Yeah, we are now. We're on the subject. For a little bit, we're going to talk about it. Let me go to my DMs. My brother actually wants to sell his Switch 2 that he just got just because of the direction Nintendo's going. And normally he's like a diehard Nintendo guy. Yeah, okay. So Nintendo says that they're going to pull back their plan. Or not pull back, but they have a plan to pull back on making less first-party games than they do now. Like they're
pull
trying
back on making less,
or they're going to pull back and make less.
Pull back on making game.
Yeah. They're going to pull back and they're going to make less first-party games.
Mistake.
Yeah, because
that's what they did with the Wii U. I don't think that was a great idea.
Well, the Wii U still ended up like having a higher proportion of first-party games than third-party. One of the big failures of the Wii U was that they just didn't get third-party games. That was like, even Nintendo complained about that. Yeah. No, so they want to rely on third-party games, right? And they say it's because they don't have as high as a return that they do on third-party games, since you pretty much just get a 33% cut for doing nothing but having a system for people to put your games on. And it's because of the investors. Right? And this is a big mistake because maybe these investors don't realize the whole reason people buy a Nintendo system over other ones isn't because the Switch is portable. It's because of the Nintendo first-party games.
Yeah, that... the third-party games are like the icing on the cake, right?
Yeah.
But, the Switch for the first half of its life, that was a huge draw because it's like, I obviously bought it for Mario and Zelda, especially Zelda this time around. But, oh my gosh, look at all these games they're porting that we would, we had hoped we'd get on the Wii U, but it was just never going to happen. We're finally getting, and not only that, we're getting a bunch of games that were on the Wii U, but since nobody owned that, we're getting them on the Switch. Some of them third party or first party.
Yeah, though I don't think that was much of a system.
Mostly
seller,
just the stuff from the Wii U.
Well, some of the Wii U stuff, definitely the port over, but the third party stuff that a lot of people, because some people try to say it's like, oh look, I can play Skyrim on Switch now. I don't think that was as much of a system seller, because when we compare the early sales of the Switch
Sorry.
to the sales of Smash Brothers Ultimate, there weren't drastically that many more Switches sold than Smash Brothers Ultimate at the same time. Smash Brothers Ultimate was the system seller early on. There was definitely some people that got it that weren't into that, but that was the thing pushing the system very, very early on.
Yeah. But then they got into this sort of virtuous cycle
Yeah.
where there were so many Switches that had sold, presumably
That
because of
everybody
the
wanted to be
first-party
on the system, and then that ended a feedback loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like these third-party games that had been on other systems and even like PC, as soon as they got on the Switch, their sales just shot through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, holy shit, this is great. And that's when the third-party things really started to roll in.
Yeah, so that's why I don't think
they
you can
needed a
rely on
catalyst.
third party. You need something to push it.
Yeah.
And right now they're doing kind of fine, right? They've got Mario Kart World, as questionable as it is, it's selling. People like it. There are enough Switch 2 selling. DK Bonanza's doing pretty well as well.
Yeah, the Switch 2s are selling faster than the Switch did. Of course, as you said, Switch was a little slow at first, and Switch 2 is basically riding its coattails. But it has a lot of potential if they don't fuck it up. I see so many people complaining, and I'm like, this is exactly what I wanted. I just wanted another Switch, only faster, that can play more modern games. Now, the Switch is like coming up on 8 years old.
And you have one now.
8, 9?
Since the last show.
Yeah, I did. Oh, did I just get that?
Yeah. We have not had a show since you've gotten your Switch 2.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I got a bit of a bonus at work, and I'm like,
well, we've had a
2
show since you've gotten your Switch 2. We haven't had a Game Central Junction since you got your Switch 2.
Yeah, which I might not have. I mean, that's side gigs and stuff. If they panned out, I would. But like, I was kind of sweating because I'm like, oh, I really want to get the new Dragon Quest 1 and 2, but it doesn't come out to the end of October. October 30th. But it's so stupid that they're not selling an upgrade. You can't buy the Switch 1 version and then pay like $5-10 and upgrade it to the Switch 2 version.
Yeah, I guess the best thing you could do
You'd have
is
to buy it again.
Go to GameStop and trade it in and then get the other one.
or just wait or something. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like the trade-in value,
or buy it twice. I don't know.
Right? Like if you took the Switch 1 and you traded in and then paid the difference with the trade-in value, would probably be the same cost as upgrading.
I doubt it.
I don't know. GameStop trade-in value has gone down. It used to be a lot better in like the aughts, but ever since like the 10s, it's been pretty awful. Yeah.
I mean, maybe because I don't know. It's hard to say because obviously Switch 1 is on the way out to some degree, but on the other hand, with the higher prices of the Switch 2 games,
that's the
and
bigger
like that,
problem.
I can see a Switch 1 player. Yeah, I could see a Switch 1 player looking for a deal. If I was like, I played it, it's used, but I keep my games in perfect condition.
Yeah.
If I knew I was going to trade it, I'd even keep all the packaging, so it's absolutely perfect. Anyway, I don't have to do that when it comes out. Getting it for the Switch 2. And weirdly, it has to just have been a coincidence. I didn't know it was going to happen. A couple of days or maybe a week after I got the Switch 2, like 75% of the games on my wish list went on sale from anywhere from 50 to like 70% off. And I'm like, ooh, I could get every Saga game for like $15. Like, wow. Crazy.
Well, since we're already on the subject
whereas
of
they were like, I mean, those are the
Yeah. You wanna talk about that video that was put out for Homeland Security? This is the funniest thing.
Yeah,
I missed it when it happened, like when it was new. I saw it like 6 hours after the fact, and I think it was actually maybe Legal Mindset retweeted it, and that's why I saw it. But on like the official Department of Homeland Security page, there was this meme video that they made for ICE about how they're gonna catch them all to the the American theme song of the original Pokemon anime season.
Yeah, is it still up? I'm afraid to play it with the sound because it does have the Pokemon theme song. Man, they tweet a lot. This is their Twitter account. Well, they've had a lot of unfortunate stuff go down in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about
There's
that.
an
I just
ice
want to talk
facility
about
that got attacked.
the game related stuff here.
Man, I feel like I might have better luck finding it if I go to Legal Mindsets.
I don't really want to show it on the stream
there it is.
anyway. Just because there's like there's footage of real people in it, like of actual events and stuff that have happened.
Oop.
It's not a dramatization. Like there's actual arrests and stuff in the
Yeah,
video.
But everybody's blurred out.
I know, but I don't.
You
That's
wanna-
not really the place to show that. I just want to talk about it. But I thought the most interesting
Well, it's
part,
weird timing
It is. It's very weird timing.
because of everything else they're doing. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the most interesting part is that we actually had a former legal chief from Pokemon Company itself that were involved in a bunch of stuff, especially early on in the American branch of stuff, like having to deal with copyright and trademark issues. And he was saying that back when he was there, if something like this happened, they wouldn't even dream of touching that video. And which a lot of people were like joking about, hey, Nintendo, why don't you come after them for this? And the problem is like, yeah, maybe you could get them on brand issues, like how this could disparage your brand or something, but it would be a really tough case to fight that wouldn't be worth it against the department of the U.S. government too. Like you're never going to win a case. There'd be no point in even approaching it.
Yeah. I mean, I think even the whole brand damage thing would be like, it would still have to fall under some sort of copyright law, right? I mean,
Trademark at the
it's
very
like,
least.
you're,
Which,
you're,
you know,
well, did they trademark the phrase "gotta catch 'em all"?
yes.
Maybe.
Yeah. They do have that trademark, and the
Although-
song itself is their property, right? The name Pokemon as well, which appears in the song several times, and I mean the video.
Well-
Parody. The thing is, it's parody for the video itself. So the fact that they're
Yeah.
catching people, that's safe. It's just the use of the song. That would be
Yeah.
the big issue.
Yeah, but it clearly,
Yeah.
even use of the song,
Mm.
in my opinion, my non-attorney opinion, falls under fair use because the
Oh,
whole
no.
thing, even with the song, is clearly a parody, which falls under fair use.
Well, yeah, but the
Right.
song doesn't fall under fair use on itself, right? Now, if you made a parody of the song, if you made a remix of the song, but the fact that it is just the song in its entirety, the studio mastered version, using that does not fall under fair use. You'd have to get a license for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if they remixed the song, that'd be completely different.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not an attorney. I guess I can't rising on that. Although, oh, man, every time I click on it, it's
But typically,
blasting
just
my
straight up
ears.
using a song as
Um,
it was mastered is how you get people. Like that is typically how people get each other for claims and strikes and all kinds of legal manners. And that's
See, to
because
me, I think it's a
there's
gray
nothing
area because
transformative about the song itself.
I think playing it over different footage and with a different connotation would, but in my opinion, I think it's a matter of they get people because people can't afford to or don't want to spend the money on fighting it.
That's possible too.
So they're just
Though
like,
I
"Ah,
would say in that
nice."
case, like AMVs and fan-made music videos over songs have never won. Like once. Because they are just using the song in its entirety as it is. Just because they put like different footage and stuff over it.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna agree with you.
Well, it is probably a gray area because nobody wants to fight.
But-
like that would probably be true.
Yeah. But in my opinion, it's funny. Like, okay, it's humorous, and I guess it's actually kind of amusing or interesting that this lawyer who doesn't work for Nintendo anymore,
No,
but in
haven't
his
for a while.
expert opinion, basically said Nintendo's not going to touch this because, I mean, I guess
it would be the Streisand
best
effect.
case it would be a
basically, if they touched
protracted.
it.
Well, that
Yeah,
but I mean,
because he said it'll just blow over in a
whoever
few days.
is
Like
smart
was,
enough.
you know.
Yeah.
Right, it would make Nintendo
I
look
think there are multiple
worse
reasons. I mean,
for doing this. It would bring attention to it. While if you just don't touch it, it'll blow over.
Yeah. Now, would it be? Well, here's the thing. Technically, the owner of that copyright would be the Pokemon Company, right?
Yes,
Game Freak
specifically, it would be the Pokemon Company.
And I think that's what he was referring to specifically. At least this is the Legal Mindset's take.
Yeah.
The internet lawyer extraordinaire was that Nintendo is used to getting a bunch of shit like that. It just rolls off them. They don't care because they get shit all the time. The Pokemon Company, although I don't know about this because I mean they get a lot of shit for their games, but I guess this kind of publicity they're not really used to, but they're like at least not on an extended basis, and I think that's why he said, well, they would typically just say this will blow over, and then it does. And
I have
okay,
a direct quote from Don McGowan on how their opinion is, because they are pretty publicity shy. The direct quote is, "I don't see them doing anything about this for a few reasons. First, think of how little you see (brackets the Pokemon Company International's name in the press. They are insanely publicity shy and prefer to let the brand be the brand. Second, many of their execs in the US are on green cards. Even if I was still at the company, I wouldn't touch this. And I'm the most trigger-happy CLO, Chief Legal Officer, I've ever met. This will blow over in a couple days, and they'll be happy to let it." Yeah, because like a lot of them, some of them are Japanese that are over here living here because they're Japanese employees of the Pokemon Company that work in the American branch, right? They're on green cards. Like, do you really want to touch that?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of reasons they're not going to touch it. I mean, reasons I agree with, and then reasons that I kind of hate, which is like, if you go up against the government, okay, next time we want to, I don't know, import a game or bring in, like you said, immigrant temporary workers or something like that to our company, what's the likelihood the government's going to agree to that if we just sued them? Even if it's a different department of the government, But I mean, both sides do that. Both political parties.
Well, I think you just don't want to sue the government unless you think that you have some moral backing behind it, like where you should win. And something like this is not worth it, right? Now, if you do have a moral backing behind what you're doing, I think you should sue the government no matter what. Bring it all the way up to the top courts because that can change how things operate in the country. But this is there's nothing behind this.
Personally, yeah. I mean, having a moral reason is all well and good, but personally, I think in this case, in most cases, it's more along the lines of, do you actually have something to gain? What would gain you the most? Not necessarily money, but usually something to do with money. In this case, like, I think most people who kind of sue the government, like, they don't anticipate having anything to gain if they don't. In this case, it's like, oh, we rely a lot on government approvals of this, that, and the other.
Well, that's the issue with, like, it's a corporation.
We're going to lose a lot more than,
Like, one of the reasons we even have parody protections is because a smaller cartoonist decided that he was going to skirt the boundary of infringing on Disney's copyright by drawing Mickey Mouse in porn, basically, and some Disney characters. And he was going to take that all the way to the highest. Now, technically that was against him and Disney, but he was also attacking the U.S. government directly on their copyright laws of the time. And that's what gave us our parody protections that were put into the U.S. Copyright Act of 78, or it was somewhere in the 70s. So like a lot of times, unless you have some principled backing behind it, you don't even have the desire to do stuff like this, you know?
Yeah. Try to figure out how to word this question to ChatGPT in a way that I'll get an accurate answer. No, it agrees with you.
Of course it does. Yeah.
It says this situation is almost certainly, because nothing's 100%, would not be fair use for the song.
So I've been on
the song needed
YouTube,
to be
and I've known a lot
changed.
of people have been dealing with this for a long enough time. To date, that is still the one Smosh video that they've never been able to claim revenue for, is the one where they lip synced the Pokemon theme song. Same exact song that we're talking about. So I actually had some grounds for thinking it particularly with this song. But like, I've been on YouTube long enough that it's like I've never seen anybody get a victory regarding that.
It's yeah, I'm not shocked. I guess I'm not surprised. But it feels like, which obviously the law doesn't care about my feelings. It feels like attaching the song to a parody video transforms the song itself, but I guess the law doesn't see it that way.
Yeah, and I think the problem
Because, I mean, you could always turn off the video and just listen to it.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is like the song still exists there. And part of it is how everything is separated into different industries, right? So the music production industry is a completely different beast than like the film industry. And even then, the film industry has to go and they have to license every single song they ever use in a movie, right? They don't get fair use.
That's a good point. That's a great point. And I remember there was a How It Should Have Ended video a little while ago. I think it was Frozen, where and they didn't use the original track, but they had one of their characters singing word for word and note for note, I think Let It Go or something like that. And they got copyright struck by Disney.
Oh yeah.
And then they came and they took it down. Yeah. And they took it down, and then they altered the song, altered the words, changed the melody a little bit, and brought it back up, and they were fine.
Yeah, that's actually funny too, like the way it works. And it's because the law is not very good in this area, and it's because of how much power the publishing, like the music, like production companies have had for a long time. You do not have to pay cover prices for a song where the instrumentation is basically exact, but you changed the lyrics and turned it into a parody song, because now it counts as like a Weird Al style parody. Though he always stays good with it. He does that stuff anyway to just have a good relationship with everyone. But you're completely covered in parody in that regard. Yeah. But if you were to do a cover where you redid all the instruments yourself, even transformed it, but the lyrics and the general composition is the same, you do have to pay a cover license for it, even though arguably it's more transformative than the parody version I just explained.
Yeah, it seems like the lyrics are the important part, and the way they're put together. Interesting. Yeah, that does seem to be the case.
Yeah,
I can think of examples just off the top of my head. Yeah, I guess that's why. Yeah, I mean, technically, Weird Al doesn't have to ask permission, except maybe with the polkas where he actually uses the lyrics. But he only usually does 5 to 10 seconds of each song.
Well, this is Bohemian Rhapsody, where
So
he
even
did the
that-
whole thing from start to finish.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Weird Al
copyright's so
songs
murky.
was in Pokemon 2000 at the end, and it's Polkamon, which is like his own version of a polka rap, but it's polka. It's great. It's even got like a nice little breakdown. And it hits at the weirdest time in the credits, right? Because at the ending they have like this very somber music that's playing in a song as they're like returning home, going over the seas and everything. And then it just out of nowhere, it drops and Weird Al's polka music starts playing. And then the second it ends, it goes back into somber music. It's just like this whiplash that just hits you out of nowhere. Where he's like, it's time to polka for Ponyta and Pidgey too. It's a good song though.
So wait, Weird Al had an album called Pokemon 2000: The Power of One.
No, he was in the album
Weird Al
Pokemon
album?
2000. A bunch of different people were in it. That was the soundtrack to the movie, and he had a song in it that he was hired to write.
I never saw it. Was that the movie where they go to the island, or was that was the Pokemon movie, like the original Pokemon?
This one also involves going to islands.
They go to the island
There's
with
multiple islands in this one. This was the second Pokemon movie. It had Lugia, and it had the 3 legendary birds from Kanto.
I think the only Pokemon movies I've seen 2, I believe, and it was I think the original where they go to the island with Mewtwo.
Yeah.
And he creates the clones, the evil clones.
Yeah, this Pokemon, the
And
first
second
movie,
one?
Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Right. And the second Pokemon movie I saw was the remake of that.
So you just saw the same movie?
Yeah.
Wait, didn't you watch Detective
CGI.
Pikachu?
Okay, yes, I watched Detective Pikachu, but that wasn't.
That's a
They
Pokemon
didn't have
movie.
Pokemon in the name. So-
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen 3. All right. I love Detective. What was up with the freaking in the original Pokemon movie? Wasn't there like what was it called? Pikachu's Picnic or something?
Oh, Pikachu's
And
Vacation.
that-
It was the opening short. I love that. That short's so good.
And they had like parts. They had parts where it was just like a screensaver. It was just like a
Like a little eye catcher.
I don't know if it was a Clefairy. Yeah, just dancing around with.
There's like
colors.
a Bellsprout
Like,
one, and there's a
This is a movie
Diglett
for.
and Doug Trios. Like
That's so
they're
weird.
earworms too. Like I know them exactly. Even this many later, because the part with the Diglets, they went like Diglett dig, trio. Like they're just burned into my head.
That was such a weird.
It's been 20 years or
intro to
so,
a
and it's
movie.
been burned
Although-
into my head.
Yeah. Although I guess that was more common, because like what's it called? Was it Who Framed Roger Rabbit, or was it a different movie? Actually, I think it was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, right? That had a Roger Rabbit
Like,
short film
It
at the beginning.
might have been.
The short.
Because there were 2
Think.
Roger Rabbit shorts that were made. I don't remember
Yeah.
which one was attached to the beginning of a
I don't remember a second
movie.
one.
The most famous one
Yeah.
is the one where Jessica Rabbit is a park ranger.
Oh, I forgot about. But that was just separate, wasn't it, or was it?
Yeah, that's a
released
short. I don't
with
think that one
something
was
else?
attached to a movie or anything, but
Right.
man.
Was it Tummy Trouble? Yeah. Roger's placed in charge of watching baby Herman.
That's at the beginning of Roger
And
Rabbit
it-
as well. That's what they're filming. At least the one in the kitchen.
Really? Okay, yeah. It might have been like they were filming it.
Yeah,
like and that was just part of it was at the beginning of Roger Rabbit.
yeah.
But the full short film, yep, I was right. It was shown originally before Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I don't think I've ever
It was
seen that
attached to
version.
that.
Well, not of the short. I think I've seen the short by itself.
Crazy.
But like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I think I've only ever seen on TV, so the short didn't play.
Yeah. Yeah, it was attached to it theatrically, and on the film's initial video release, which was probably on VHS.
Yeah, and a
So if you
DVD
got,
would
if
still
you
be
even
there,
watched
but
it
you'd
on
have
DVD,
to go to the bonus features to
maybe,
get to
yeah.
it, probably.
Yeah,
A lot of the
that's
shorts were
funny.
clipped off and put into the bonus features for stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw that in the theaters, so I remember.
Well, there was a
watching
lot of
that
cases.
story.
Like I went to see Harriet the Spy in theaters, and the Hey Arnold pilot short
Mhm.
was at the beginning of Harriet the Spy.
That's cool.
And there's also a very
Anyway, wow,
awful
that came out in
Anaconda
1989.
short for Digimon. That actually is part of it. Even on DVD, it still plays at the beginning. It's not put into the bonus features. It's one of the chapters of the movie. I think they all just consider that part of the movie for some reason.
Okay.
It's awful. Some people say that it actually caused a divorce, but we're not here to talk about that on this channel. Or, well, maybe on this channel, just
We
not
say
on the
that
show.
a lot.
On this show, we're not here to talk about it. We
Um,
went into
well,
a
so-
big sidetrack of talking about movies when we should be on video games right now.
I know. It's all related. Come on. But it was weird timing because it was on the heels of Nintendo suing, what was it? Modders in some way, or
Yo, Power World.
specific mods?
And they were complaining about Power World's modding.
Is it Power
and-
World?
Yeah, and the modders in Power World, and they're like, if you don't stop the modders, this is going to be bad for you, is pretty much what they said.
Yeah, because the modders can put back the stuff that they're voluntarily taking out.
Yeah.
But it's like,
And also, like,
How is
modders
that
could
their
put in
problem?
actual Pokemon
Yeah.
if they want. Yeah, like, that shouldn't be a problem at all. You shouldn't be able to control what modders do.
yeah. And the thing is with that, from what I've been reading from Legal Mindset and others, is that if Nintendo can, I feel like if there's some sort of, if Nintendo, it seems like if they win in any way, if the Power World just caves and says we're gonna take out the ability to mod,
Yeah.
which seems like that would be futile too, because people figure out a way. Or if they win in court, it seems like that pretty much kills the entire modding community scene, doesn't it? Sets a
More or
precedent
less,
that
yeah. Well,
would
Nintendo hates
destroy a
modders
huge part
in
of the
general.
industry.
Like, they've always hated modders from day one.
Yeah. It kind of drives me nuts that the Switch version of Skyrim can't get the mods that are curated and available on the PlayStation version, where you can go in and without leaving the game, they have a list from their whatever their community, whatever it's called, whatever they call it in Skyrim, and you can download mods to the PlayStation version, but not the Switch.
There have been games where there have been cheats and exploits that have been removed from Nintendo versions of the game because Nintendo classified it under their modding restrictions.
Yeah.
Even though it's something that's built into the game itself. Like, there's no mod involved.
This is a weird revert to the bad old days.
Yeah.
Nintendo, remember they had like the what do they call it? You had to like pay and join this group in order to stream a Nintendo game.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
without getting sued or taken down.
The Nintendo Partnership Program.
Yes. And it's like, what are you doing? You're
And
only
they would take a
hurting
cut
yourself.
of your revenue.
If nobody, yeah, how much could that have possibly been? They would have made so much more if they'd be like, it's free publicity, dudes.
Yeah.
Free. Like, what are you
Well,
doing?
Nintendo has this like weird
Anyone
idea
can tell you.
that once they release a game to you, that you still have to play it the way they want you to play it. They don't. They will fix games
Yeah.
that they think there are exploits in. They will restrict things. Like they punished time travelers in the new Animal Crossing because they don't like time travel. Specifically, they're like, you have to play the game the way we want you to play it because this is
How
the way
did
we
they
designed the game.
punish?
Well, so since a lot of Animal Crossing stuff was almost
How do
effectively
they punish
a
time travelers? And
live service, what they did was to punish time travelers more, or which they really didn't punish them. They just did this for that reason. They punished everyone by not having the data for future holidays and stuff in the game until later. Like for the whole first year,
oh,
they were basically
yeah.
patching holidays into the game, giving you a functionally incomplete version to try to prevent people from time traveling.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, yeah. I mean, if it shows a
I don't
brings up.
know if that's a good
Yeah,
theory at all. I know a lot of people have been pushing that, but I don't know if I
I mean,
believe
it's
it.
a. It seems like a reasonable theory. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that is their mindset. He's saying
Yeah.
Nintendo is obsessed with wiping away Pal World because Pal World dilutes the Nintendo brand by associating pocket monsters with guns and slavery. But it's like, okay, they're already kind of associated with slavery. I mean, more
Yeah, I don't know.
at
People have
ownership.
pushed that for a while, and I've just thought it was kind of a reach. Like, I don't think that's enough for Nintendo, because I don't think it actually dilutes the Pokemon brand, and I don't even think their legal team would be able to
Yeah.
reason that it would, you know?
I mean, that's kind of the reason for all copyright.
Yeah.
I mean, except where, you know, you actually are like, people are playing or watching this instead of our product, because, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, if the streamers that would play entire, you know, seasons of anime, and the anime would not get any of that revenue, right?
Yeah.
There's that, but then there's the other side of copyright infringement where it's like, you're associating us with stuff that we don't want to be associated with. You know, that makes sense. I mean,
Well, sort of, but
as far
the
as
problem is, like,
possible.
the Pal World, like, I think you'd have to be, like, they're thinking of the lowest common denominator would be confused about these two games. But I think a reasonable person would argue that Pal World is not Pokemon, so it should not be harming the Pokemon brand. It's not like you'd have a better case against
I
when
agree.
PETA does, like, which they're protected by parody laws when they do this, but when PETA uses actual Pokemon in their, like, Flash games and stuff like that, or when they made Super Tanuki skinned 2D, which was like a Super Mario Brothers
Yeah.
3 parody where he was wearing a skin Tanuki, right? Like, you think they'd have better brand protection case against something like that, aside from parody laws, than they would against Pal World. I really just don't think Pal World hurts the Pokemon brand. And I think you'd be stretching to be able to prove that.
I don't think so either. And
yeah.
Yeah. And even though I still don't understand, and I totally disagree with the notion of copywriting how you, or copywriting or trademark, or
Patenting. Yeah.
actually. The patenting of the Pokeballs and everything. Okay, if they had done that years prior.
Yeah.
Now it seemed like it was too late, but they did it anyway, and they prevailed just by, I don't know, that Powell just agreed to change it. I felt like, okay, whether you agree or disagree with that, that should have been the end of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are they still, I guess they're negotiating at this point. I don't know if they're, you know, I'm sure they're threatening and everything, but, like, they're not like in
it does feel like they have a vendetta against Pocket Pair, almost specifically, which we do have some Pocket Pair news.
Court, right? Or
yeah.
Yeah.
Because they made an announcement just the other day. Did you see it? Yeah. Let me see if I can find the name of it. It's hard. I lost my mouse.
Probably, but
so,
lost your mouse.
Yeah, it disappeared.
Where'd you last see it?
I don't. Well, I have my mouse. I lost my cursor. Is the more appropriate thing to say. With all the video memory or whatever my computer's using right now, OBS or something ate my cursor. I can still tell where it's supposed to be because things will get highlighted behind it, but my cursor is not on screen right now.
Well, I can look it up. Pocket Pair
Pal Farm.
News?
It's called Pal Farm. And it's basically
Oh,
like a
I did
Stardew
not see
Valley
this.
Pal World thing with the pals.
Well, thank God it's not a Nintendo ripoff. It's a what's that? What's the name of that company? I want to say Stupendous, but that's not. It's the word that always comes up on any, was it, shoot, like I want to. Why do I keep thinking Harvest Moon? Harvest Moon.
Oh, okay.
Game.
Well, isn't Harvest Moon? I'm trying to
You know
remember.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who makes Harvest Moon? Like, but with smaller studio.
Marvelous.
Marvelous. Okay.
Are they involved with Harvest Moon or only? Yeah, I know that they make the Story of Seasons games.
Yeah, but that's all the same franchise technically. They're different named things,
Okay.
but they're the same franchise.
They're all Marvelous
Yeah.
games, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know how I got onto that, but at any rate, yeah. I guess.
Yeah, it's a Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley. Actually, a little bit of Monster Rancher, which is kind of cool. I'd have more interest in Pal Farm than actual Pal World. Pal World doesn't interest me at all. But there's a little bit of Monster Rancher in here, and I haven't seen Monster Rancher in a couple decades, so that's kind of cool. That was like I think it died on the PlayStation. I don't think there was anything for Monster Rancher after the original PlayStation.
Is that related to Slime Rancher?
No, not at all.
It must be.
So there was a farming
No?
sim, life sim, but also monster raising battle game, like RPG, on the PlayStation 1 called Monster Rancher. It was really popular. It even had an anime at the same time that it was out that was dubbed by 4Kids here in the West. Like, it was that popular that it came over. But I haven't seen anything from Monster Rancher in forever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't either. What's interesting, so they could still end up getting sued. Of course, the Pokemon is coming out with its similar thing, Pokopia, right?
Yeah.
A farming sim with Pokemon. This one is a farming sim with the Pal World characters who are similar to Pokemon. Of course, farming sims, I don't think Nintendo could sue about that.
No, they're not even the first ones to ever do one, so it's like...
Yeah. But farming sims with pocket monster characters, that's another thing.
Hey, I don't know. Again, Monster Rancher already existed, so...
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't see this, and somehow I managed to find myself on Polygon.
Oh, my
How
condolences.
did I click that link? I know. Get me out of here. I want to read about it somewhere else. So the Pocket Pair dev said the tinfoil hats are out in force after Pokemon fans questioned the timing of Pal World Pal Farm announcement just a week after Pokemon Pokopia Nintendo Direct reveal. Well, obviously they'd been working on it.
Yeah, like, there's no way that they would have the previews that look as polished as they do if they haven't been working on it for at least over a year, right? And it's like, yeah, they didn't pump that out in a week.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way anybody pumped that out in a week.
Yeah, I think so. It's funny because, I mean, didn't Pocket Pair make a very blatant Zelda ripoff as well?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know all of Pocket Pair stuff. I don't really follow
Basically,
them as a company.
Craftopia.
Oh, they're the ones that did Craftopia?
Craftopia.
Yeah, okay, I know Craftopia. Yeah. I keep forgetting that was them.
Mm-hmm. Same company.
Yeah.
And it looks just like Breath of the Wild, right?
Yeah, it's Breath of the Wild, but with like, it's Breath of the Wild meets Minecraft, but the building's actually closer to how building is in Fortnite. So it's Breath of the Wild with Fortnite-style building Minecraft elements in it. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they could be criticized for not being super original, but like they're putting these different elements together
Yeah.
in interesting ways.
For at least interesting
Is
enough
it-
to
is this
make
a
enough
Chinese
money.
company?
That's all that money. No, they're Japanese. That's actually, I think that's the bigger reason why
Japanese.
Nintendo dislikes them is because they operate in their own like home country. You know, like it's in their backyard. They don't
Yeah,
touch
yeah.
Chinese companies ever. Speaking of, like, I've got news about Hoyo that is kind of closer to
Yeah.
ripping off of a Nintendo game, and they don't ever go after like Chinese companies. Personally, because they know they're gonna lose. Like, there's nothing to be gained by going after a Chinese company. They never went after them
Yeah.
for Breath of the Wild, even though you would lose anyway. Not Breath for Genshin Impact, because Genshin Impact, while it borrows from Breath of the Wild, just isn't close enough that you could actually win anything over that.
Yeah.
No, that would be a futile effort.
But yeah, they have a new game that was
Yes.
just announced, right?
And I'm really excited. I've been following this one for quite a while. It is called Petite Planet. I'm still trying to find where my cursor should be. There we go. It's called Petite Planet. I just learned its name like a couple days ago, but I don't even know what the project name was. I knew it as like a nameless potential Animal Crossing clone for like a year or two now. Probably a couple years. And I was still living at the other place when I was following the first announcements, or not announcements, first leaks for this. They didn't announce this beforehand. We've just been following leakers that have been letting people know that this stuff exists. I remember seeing a very early build that looked like a low polygon version of Animal Crossing. But just yesterday, they put out a full teaser trailer for Petite Planet. And what it looks like is Animal Crossing in space, where instead of just having your little town, your neighborhood, your city, your community is a galaxy or whatever, or like a whole solar system. There's many planets. Like your neighbors' houses might be on a completely different tiny petite planet, and it's got everything that you would normally want from an Animal Crossing like game. It's got home customization. It's got outside terrain, city customization. You could throw items down wherever you want. It's got like a create a character, really cute little cartoony looking person. It's got cartoony anthropomorphic animals that you'll interact with. They put 4 of them as a preview already on the official website that you can look at. I think one's a fox. There's like a sheep on there too.
They look a lot like Power World. Yeah. But yeah, you get in a magical car and you drive between different worlds. To me, clearly inspired by Le Petit Prince, the French book.
Oh, okay.
Just due to the tiny little, the name, the tiny little worlds where people live. I mean, it's like I immediately thought of the Little Prince.
Yeah. Well, Hoyo is ran by a bunch of nerds that reference everything, so I'm fairly certain that was definitely the inspiration on that. If you're a very cultured person, you get the references that they put down in literally all their games all the time.
Some of them, yeah. I don't get them all, but this one is just like, oh, that's cute and cool. It's like, oh yeah, it's a little guy
Well, even the
standing
the
on a planet that's like barely bigger than he is.
Yeah. But the car gave me an immediate flashback to my favorite Animal Crossing, Wild World, where you're brought to the town by Cap'n in a taxi cab. That's like the only time that you're taken there by a taxi cab. City Folk was kind of similar. You get brought in by a bus instead because they use that bus to get back and forth from the city. But in Wild World, it was a taxi cab, and watching this like little brown car going over on almost a star rail. Like there was a road that kind of reminded me of the Astral Express going down the silver rail. You've got like this almost little brown cab looking thing going through. It's like, yeah, that reminds me of the beginning of Wild World.
It's cool. Well, I thought it looked. I mean, other than the fact that it's a cab, all they had to do is make it a train, and it could have been tied into Honkai Star Rail.
I don't know if they want to tie this into
Somehow.
any one of them, because they have been trying to
Yeah.
branch out more than things that are just part of. Their name is Hoyoverse outside of China, but I think they're trying to separate the Hoyoverse of games from the Honkaiverse, which are specifically the games that take place in the shared universe of the Honkai games, which Genshin falls into. We're not sure if ZZZ does or not. It operates as if it does, but there has been no connections yet, and they kind of talked about almost making it like it's not in there. So that's up to them whether they want to fully connect it or not later. But they are trying to branch out to not just be held down by the Honkaiverse. And I don't know if this one will be. We could find out that they just drop in like anthro versions of their former characters. Like I might see a Raiden Mei. I don't even know what animal she would be, but like a random Raiden Mei neighbor at some point in time, and it's like, okay, yep, it's a Honkai game. Who knows, right? But it looks good. It really does. I don't know how they're going to monetize it. I assume there's probably going to be some type of gacha, but I don't think the neighbors will be gacha from what I've gleaned. So I'm thinking it might be like how Pocket Camp was monetized, where I think it's probably going to be like the outfits and the furniture and stuff, if I were to take a guess. It'd be like Pocket Camp, but if it had like the full gameplay value of Animal Crossing instead of like that really limited, watered-down version.
Did you know that Nintendo actually has already announced the successor to Doug Bowser?
I did not.
So, yeah.
All I saw
Anyway,
was Doug Bowser's
sorry.
tweet.
Yeah, I was looking at an article about the Petite Planet, and it's like they're I guess a link to another article talking about his successor. I'm like, wait, is there a successor yet? So yeah, someone named Devin Pritchard,
Okay.
currently VP of Sales and Marketing.
Yeah. I've heard of Pritchard before. That makes sense.
But there's going to be a separate CEO who's going to be Satoru Shibata.
Oh, are they sending somebody over to help
I guess.
operate things, I guess?
I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't have any interim anything. They're ready to go. He is general manager of marketing and licensing.
Okay.
Licensing. So yeah, I guess they're going heavy on the marketing.
Oh yeah, well, like Nintendo is. I think they're slowly trying to turn into a lifestyle brand. They're taking the Marvel Disney, or like just like the whole Disney route in general, which I hate. That's they're growing away from me. I could see myself if Nintendo keeps on this route in the future, just not liking Nintendo anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy because I've liked Nintendo for 40 years.
I've liked Nintendo my entire life, because I haven't really known a time
pretty
without
much my
Nintendo.
entire life too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's not the case for me because before the NES, I'd never heard of it, and when I had an Atari 2600.
Yeah, well, like both my parents were gamers, right? Like there was an NES and an SNES in my house when I was born. I was like raised on Nintendo.
Yeah.
So like it is kind of just awful that Nintendo's growing in a direction that I just don't want to follow anymore, Like that's why it was such a heavy thing. That same thing for my brother, right? Where he's like, I might want to sell my Switch too. He's like, I get it, You're a couple of years younger than me. Like you were in the same situation.
I mean, despite the fact that, for the first 8.5 years of my life, there was no Nintendo that I knew of.
Yeah.
It still has been integral to my life for 40 years since 1985. So yeah, that would really suck. I like to see how this Devin Pritchard and the Satoru guy, what they do.
Yeah, you know, if something
They
happens,
gotta-
I'm not going to blame them directly anyway. It's my problem is actually how the board in Japan has been acting, right? And how the
Yes.
family that founded Nintendo still technically has a role in it, but since this last generation, they've kind of just completely stepped off. I don't know if they just don't care about the image of Nintendo anymore, and the current generation just likes the money. You know, I don't know how it is or not. So
Yeah.
it's like I don't like the board. I think
It's weird. It's such a weird time because it's like you're coming off the most successful, it's by far the most successful console in your entire history. This one, to me, it's everything I wanted. Was like I said earlier, just a better Switch.
yeah.
Could be even more successful, and like you pick now to be complete and total assholes all of a sudden, and like you were heading on a better path. Like they dropped that whole not allowing streaming thing. They seem to be opening up. They didn't want to censor. Like Sony's out here still putting clothes on already clothed women because there's a little bit of skin. Nintendo's like, fuck it, we got hentai in our eShop.
As long as you
We
rate
don't
it
care.
properly, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and now they're just like suing everyone. It's almost like Pal World broke their collective brain. Like
I think Pal World is just a visible symptom. I think it's actually been like this for a bit, and like it's come to a head. Like everybody can see it now because of that.
Yeah. Really strange. Be like, well, I mean, yeah. I don't want to say things that are too obvious that everybody already knows,
Yeah.
but like,
It's like when you can
Oh,
see the mold.
you
in
mad
the
about
bread.
Pal World? Yeah. Just make a better Pokemon, man.
Yeah.
Just
Instead of the
they
shitty
don't
ones
wanna
they've
bother,
been
They
making.
don't want to put the effort. Yeah.
Which, I mean, Nintendo only has
and-
half control over the Pokemon Company, but they've got more money than the person the team that has the other half. If they really wanted to swing their dick around, they could, right? Like, if they wanted things to change, Nintendo has the power to make the Pokemon Company operate differently.
Yeah. But on the other hand, they're probably like, but they make a shit ton of money. They're obviously doing something right. Not the games, but everything else.
Well, even like the shitty games have been up to Game Freak right now, who are the other co-owner of the Pokemon Company. They're the ones that have been making the games people complain about for the most part. And it's like, if they still weren't making enough money, though, Nintendo would do something about it. But the Game Freak games are still making money, so why would Nintendo care?
It would be sad if it was just like, man, Nintendo is just not making good games anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel about Sony, or not Sony, Square,
Yeah.
Squaresoft, where I'm like, man, could you please do a good Final Fantasy again?
Well, at least DK
I
Bonanza
like
seems
Final
to be a
Fantasy
genuinely
12
good
even though
game.
I guess so. It's not particularly my cup of tea. I wasn't crazy about Super Mario Odyssey,
Oh, I love Odyssey.
but I liked it because I thought it was okay. But like, I'm not into Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
I'm like, it feels like a Donkey Kong Odyssey kind of thing. I'm like,
Yeah, that's pretty much what it
okay,
is,
I'm
more or
glad
less,
people
yeah.
like it, and it's
I'm fine
seemed successful. Seemed pretty fun to play.
when I don't personally like games, as long as they're still good, right? Like, if Nintendo made a game I'm not interested in, but it's still a good game, it's like, that's fine, because there's plenty of people who will be interested in it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that, I mean, they they basically were banking on. It seemed like their flagship game was going to be Mario Kart,
And that
and
hasn't
they did
been
the
doing
thing.
so well.
Yeah, they did the thing you were mentioning where people were like bypassing the part where you have to drive between courses, and they're like, "No, we want you to do that. That's the hook of the game. We're going to make it even harder or impossible for you to bypass this."
Yeah, you have to
But
play
we
it the way
hate
we
it.
want you to play it.
Exactly. Did a patch just to prevent people from playing it the way they wanted to. Ugh.
I mean, they kind of did the. They forced Mercury Steam to do that with the last Metroid game they made, where they were advertising that you could sequence break, but you really couldn't because the only sequence breaking that they didn't patch out eventually were the approved ones. Where it's like, well, if it's approved, then you didn't actually break the sequence. You just left alternative sequences in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a little harder to go that way. Yeah, I thought that was a little weird where it's like, we're going to intentionally build this in such a way so that you could pass, you could go do things out of order, but it's like, but if it's intentional,
It's just another route. It's not sequence
not the
break or
same.
anything. It's literally just another route that you put in the game. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And that's cool that you put other routes, but they were literally advertising with like the term sequence break. It's like, but that's not a sequence break. And when people did find a couple, they went back and removed most of them.
They did?
Yeah, there was a couple sequence breaks that were found, and then Nintendo patched it. There's actually different, what's it called? Speedrunning categories on some subsites for which version of the game you're playing. Because like some of the sequence breaks don't exist in later versions. I don't know if speedrun.com has most of them, but I've seen on some of them where people are keeping the like different categories for whether you're playing on version like 1.15 or whatever, you know.
Yeah, they have a lot of games that have stuff like that where it's split out to different versions.
Yep.
The any percent, that just had me curious to take a look. The fastest is like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Surprising people haven't figured out faster ways to.
I think there was a faster one
I guess
before
that's
that,
fast.
like a long time before.
Hmm.
But I think the any percent is the current version, I think. Like the final version of the game, I'm pretty sure.
If you look at rules, you can use older versions, but I guess there's an invincibility glitch that you're not allowed to use.
Yeah, that was one of the things that they patched out that allowed a sequence break that wasn't planned for.
Oh, I see. So yeah, there's a separate legacy board that also has like any percent, 100%, everything split out.
Yeah, and that's all because Nintendo's like, no, you have to play the game the way we want you to play it. Yeah.
You know what? We
That's
ended
why
up talking about Nintendo this whole time.
Yeah, we talked about a few things. Like, I wanted to finish off with a little more Hoyo. That's one of the reasons, like, you see, for the most part, anytime you walk in and I happen to be playing a video game, if I'm not, like, dredging myself through Final Fantasy 16, which I have been slowly pushing myself through Final Fantasy 16, I'm usually playing, like... That? No, I haven't been streaming that. I've just been playing that one. I don't know. I think I'd sooner go back and replay Final Fantasy 15 on stream than stream 16. Which I guess that you have the option for that, so maybe. But anytime you've walked out, I've been playing one of the Hoyo games. You know, like I've been backtracking on Star Rail for the stream account to do things that I'm never going to do on stream. Or like I'm playing Genshin because there's exploration or whatever. And it's like, these aren't the best games in the world. Like, if you were to ask me, I wouldn't necessarily recommend somebody to jump into them unless they particularly enjoy the game. But they fill a lot of the holes that the old game companies that I used to get stuff from are choosing to no longer fill. And I feel like they're starting to do that with Nintendo games too. They used to just be filling like the Square Enix holes for me pretty well too. They've been doing a lot of the Square-related stuff better than Square has lately, outside a few of their side properties like Octopath Traveler. And I feel like they're going to start replacing a lot of filling those Nintendo holes that haven't needed filling before. One of the other things that they're working on right now is Honkai Nexus Anima, which I don't believe I talked about on stream. There's a closed beta test currently going on for it. Though, unlike Petite Planet, you can sign up for the test of that one too on the website. I would rather get into Petite Planet than Nexus Anima. I was denied for Nexus Anima because while it is a monster collection game, this is their answer to Pokemon, I guess. It is not a turn-based RPG, and that's where it lost to me. It's like wanted it to be a turn-based RPG. It is an auto chess game for people who know what auto chess is. I hate auto chess. But it's got so much other stuff going in where it's like this rift, this nexus between planes. This is like the crossover game where all their other characters are going to start coming in. Kiana from Honkai Impact 3's in it. Blade from Star Rail has somehow wandered onto this plane. So the gacha's still going to have the characters, not the monsters. The monsters you collect are... I think you can get them from gacha as like the... almost like the consolation prize, like your 3 stars and stuff from the gacha. But you could also get them from playing the game like you would get Pokemon. It had like a track and field event thing that was actually action, you running around with the anima to outrace each other and do things. It had a bunch of other mini games. So I think overall I'll still enjoy this game. I'll just be hating myself every time they force me to do the auto chess, which is like the main actual Pokemon battle thing of this game. But I was telling you before the show, I'm actually probably relieved from that because I've got too many Hoyo games to keep up with as it is. And if it is auto chess, then I won't give a shit about the rotating game modes. The like their challenge, Memory of Chaos equivalent Spiral Abyss thing, because it'll be auto chess. It's like, cool, I'll just skip it. I don't care. You can expire. I'll just play through the story and the events and everything. The game looks beautiful, though. Kiana is the main character again, who is like their starter character. Their very first game they made, Fly Me to the Moon, which was kind of like a jetpack game where you're trying to get past obstacles up to the moon. Kiana was the main character, and she was the main character for the first 3 Honkai games up until Genshin Impact. Once Genshin Impact came out, then we got a different character. Star Rail hasn't had a Kiana yet. ZZZ doesn't have Kiana yet. I'll answer your question in a minute. Doesn't have a Kiana yet. This is the first time that Kiana's come back. And it is the same one, a version of her from Impact 3rd. So it's cool to see her back. I always end up missing Kiana when she's not around. And she's kind of the main character of the game. But he's like, what is auto chess? So it's auto chess. Yeah. Which you got that right. And it is a type of combat, but I don't really consider it combat. Basically, the way auto chess works, it was a side mode in Dota. That was the first time it ever popped up, as far as I know. It has a bunch of different names in other games. League of Legends has one. They call it Teamfight Tactics. Some people call it Magic Chess. But auto chess is the first one I know of. So the name of the genre of game type is auto chess. You'll have like a shop that pops up each turn that you can spend, like the equivalent of mana. It's almost like a card game in a way, but it's a card game that resolves itself. There'll be a deck that you can pull from. You pull these things into your bench. You can put them on the field. There'll be like a limit of how many you can put on the field. You buying the same one from the shop can let you sacrifice it to upgrade a better version of that same creature. And then every turn you put it down and it auto resolves. So you need to have the best setup or strategy than over your opponent. I should have seen this coming because they've had an auto chess event in like 3 of their 4 big games in the last year. And I hated it every time, and even put in the survey, every single time, because they do like a survey every patch,
Mhm.
please stop adding auto chess events to the game. I hate them. Now, I'm in a minority, so they probably ignore that. But that's how fervorously I dislike auto chess that I've put it in the survey every time. And now we have a game where that is the
Yeah.
main combat system is auto chess.
It sounds almost like what's the like a strategy game, like not Final Fantasy Tactics. I mean, sort of like that, but like
Yeah, but Tactics is actually turn-based combat where
uh,
you get to be involved in what's going on.
oh, okay. I was gonna say it sounds like Fire Emblem.
Well, even Fire Emblem too. Like you've got the movement, and there is an
totally
auto resolve with each skirmish,
Mhm.
but you're the one that chooses to attack and where to move it. This is completely different. You set them on the board with their starting position on your half of the board, and then you hit go, and then both sides fight each other without your involvement whatsoever.
How is that
If
a
it-
game?
Well, originally it was just a side mode, and it is a management game. That's all it is, right? It is like you keep track of your resources, and you put your stuff down, and you figure out your position. It's not much of a game. Like I said, this is my top 5 least favorite game modes. It goes up there. It might be number 2 or 3. I don't know if it's my least favorite ever, but it's in my top 5 worst game modes is auto chess. If it was a Fire Emblem or
An
Tactics
auto
game,
battler.
yeah. If it was Fire Emblem or Tactics, I'd love that. That would be fun, right? There's actually a lot of active involvement, or like an XCOM game, which falls in there too. But it's like, no, this just
I guess.
completely resolves itself every round.
Yeah. I guess the what's it called? The Fort Condor scene in Final Fantasy VII. Is that quality?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Because you just place your characters.
Yeah.
They march ahead and fight the enemy.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, it's not like Uma Musume,
Gotcha.
where it's like, well, the races
them.
are auto, right? Which is like, or Chocobo racing. It's like, yeah, but you had to do a lot of stuff to build up that horse before the race. Like, there's a lot of management involved, and that little auto race is just showing
Yeah.
off what you did, right? It's a test, right?
Yeah.
It's like, here's the studying, here's the result of the test. While this one, even what you get is just like random per round, and you let it resolve per round, and it's just making the best decision in each round. It'd be like Uma Musume if you had to take a race after every single day that you did. Like, it was mandatory. We're testing each day. I hate auto chess so much. I wanted this to be a Pokemon game. They were hinting that they were making a Pokemon game. It's fucking auto chess. Why?
So, can you upgrade your the pieces or
Yeah, throughout
get
the
better
course of a
ones, I
match,
guess?
the pieces can be upgraded, right? Because so you'll have like your deck. It'll be like, these are the pieces that will appear. Maybe you set like 6 monsters or whatever.
Yeah.
But then which ones actually appear in your hand each round will be rolled. So you might have like 2 copies of the same one that you could buy from the shop, or maybe 3, and it'll be in squared increments, right? So to get your first upgrade, you'll add 1 to 1. But then the next one, you'll have to have added 1 to 1 in your bench or whatever. So then you can add that doubled up to the next one. And then you it'll each time it'll square up how many that you need to do. I think 8 is the highest that you'll ever need. That's the number of stages that it has, like 8 total. So like stage 3, 2 cubed, or 3 squared, whatever you want to call it. Either way, or 3 squared is 9, but 2 cubed. That's like the highest you get. I hate it though. There's just not a lot involvement in the game. They did say there might be more battle modes in the future, though, because there have been some complaints. So even the auto chess might just be one of many battle modes. They might have a turn-based battle mode, for all we know. That's just not available yet. So I will give it a chance. I will watch it. But so far, it seems like it's going to be my least favorite Hoyoverse game. As somebody who plays, like, pretty much all of them.
Yeah. That's weird, because I didn't know that Well, I didn't know that was a genre. Like I said, it sounds very similar to the Fort Condor scenario.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that like there were any other games even remotely like that, and that it was a thing people like.
Yeah.
And that as a name. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and usually it's a side
You don't
mode.
have to play it.
Yeah, I don't, you know. If like even if I really care about the story, I can just watch somebody else play it. That, you know, like a streamer or something. I don't actually have to play it myself. But like I said, some of the side content looks really fun. And a lot of people have complained that even though they do like the auto chess, because there are a lot of people who like it, auto chess is really only fun when PvP is involved, like when you're playing against another person who's making decisions. It's not really fun when you're playing against a computer. And it doesn't look yet that PvP is going to be involved in this game. So it's like with that kind of complaint they've been getting, they might be adding more combat modes anyway. Because like people want ranked. If they want to play auto chess, they want ranked. They want TFT. That's what they want. You know, they want League of Legends TFT, which is a side mode in the League launcher that you can play ranked against other people. And it's just like a quick thing you do, and then you put it down. There's no story behind it. You're not investing a ton of your time. It's like, I'm playing this for 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'm not playing it for the rest of the day.
Alrighty.
Yep. But I'm more excited about Petite Planet when that becomes live. I really hope they pick me to get into the beta. I would love to play it. I've got 2 accounts. You know what? Maybe I'll sign up for the beta on the other account too to double my chances. But I will go ham on Petite Planet, you know, hard as a motherfucker, because I love Animal Crossing so much. And hopefully they're paying attention. They learn from the mistakes that modern Animal Crossing has been making, because New Horizons is a great game, but it didn't even have the best stuff from Animal Crossing until the last update. It added all this other cool stuff that I'm glad they added, but they didn't even have like the core stuff from Animal Crossing until like the last update. That should have been first update stuff, you know, their base game. And so hopefully they have their ear to the ground. They've been listening to
like the Happy Home Designer stuff.
No. I mean, that was there too,
just
but
talking
that
about
was
the
the stuff that wasn't in the DLC, just updated, right? Where they added some more of the missing holidays from the past. They added some more neighbors with some unique personalities that weren't in the initial part of the game, which the unique personalities and the way they treated you was the coolest part of the original Animal Crossing game. There was a lot of stuff that were in like the very first Animal Crossing game that were missing from the New Horizons that got added in later. And it's like, cool, I'm glad you finally added it. It just shouldn't have taken this long for this stuff to be in the game.
Oh, well.
Yep. Anyhow.
We got plenty of other games to play.
We
Which
do.
we will be for the next few days.
Yeah. Well,
I'm this close, by the way. I've almost defeated every Talus on the surface in Tears of the Kingdom, and then there's a bunch more in the world. But I will say, I am enjoying the new features of Tears of the Kingdom quite a bit on the Switch too. Quite fun. And I'm just wanted to say I'm very sorry to hear that you're having some problems with Jozo. I don't think we can help you, unfortunately.
No.
But you know, I have faith that you'll find a way. Just
stick to it.
You know, put your mind to it. You'll figure it out a way.
Anyway, I think that's probably about time to close out the show. We went a little extra because we spent so much
Thanks
time
for watching.
Talking about that stuff at the beginning that we pretty much made the exact time up, right? An extra 15 minutes. So, yeah. And we're both probably starting to get kind of hungry. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show, whether you are watching here in the present, lurking in the chat or whatever, or if you are catching this VOD in the future, thank you. Share it out with other people. Get more people in here. Hey, if you want to improve anything from our setup, you can always donate to the Soda Fund at streamlabs.com youtube.com/vomitorium live, because obviously Marsupial is just a PNG right now, because there's probably something overloading my video RAM or whatever. I lost my cursor on screen, so you know, there's a direction.
Because like on the stream, yeah, from my perspective, in Discord, you're just a loading screen. But when I look on YouTube, I'm the one that's the loading screen. But I blame you either way.
Oh no, it's my computer. It's absolutely my computer.
We've got our own hardware problems.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we'll catch you guys later. I will probably be doing a longer stream tomorrow because I won't have an evening stream pushing me to get off early. So we'll probably be able to actually make some more progress. And yeah, I'll see you then. Catch it, I don't know, maybe somewhere around 1 to 2 o'clock Mountain Time. Pacific Time now, I guess. I don't know.
Tonight?
No, tomorrow. Tomorrow.
All right, see ya.
Oh my God, I want to close this. Where are we? Where are we?